Okay, so what was our first date like? Our first date was
Do you remember where we went? What we
yes, it was interesting. So it was our first date was March of this year, 2021. We went to IHOP.
Of all places.
Yeah, it was after he picked me up from the airport.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah. Okay, so this is what had happened. We've been on the phone like nonstop since March 3rd. Like, texting, talking, 5-hour conversations into late hours of the night.
Literally 5 hours.
Yeah, and we were trying to figure out when would be the next time you would be able to see each other. And then, through conversation, we found out that we were booked for the same project, Noir Mail, in, can I say studio names?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay, so we were booked for the same project by Noir Mail in a few weeks. And we said, okay, well, when you're in town on the West Coast, that's where they shoot in LA, that we'll get together, we'll hang out, we'll spend some time together. But I got impatient and I was like, can you just come to Vegas a few days earlier and we can drive to LA together? So that's what he did.
So I did. So I changed my flight, my airline to come to. They actually changed both of my flights because I was supposed to a round trip from where I live to LA and then back, but I changed it from where I live to Vegas and then back home. So I flew in, he picked me up, and then it was different because I have not seen him since November 10th, 2019, the day we did our first scene together. And so it was like looking at an old friend, but he looked different. He put on more mass since the last time I saw him, and then when he got out of the car to pick me up, I about fell over. Because, he was fine. The shirt he had on this maroon shirt with these jeans that fit him so right. And what funny was, it happened to be raining in Vegas that day, so he wasn't going to wear jeans, he was going to wear shorts. Because he's like, I have this whole outfit picked out and everything, and it was completely different than what he told me was when he picked me up.
And it never rains in Vegas, never. And if it does, it's just a couple of drizzles. You don't need any protection from it. But this was a downpour, and I didn't have umbrellas. So on my way to the airport, I stopped at the supermarket to buy umbrellas because I didn't want him getting wet and me getting wet. And so anyway, I make it to the airport. I drive up to, I think, pole number 6 in the passenger pickup area on the Karen International Airport. And I see this beautiful man standing there.
So we're talking in the car, like, hey, are you hungry? I'm like, yes.
Always.
Because I have not eaten all day. So we went to IHOP, of all places, but it was supposed to be like something quick, something, to get in, get out. But then with COVID, there was a wait, only certain tables are being set. So our first date was at was IHOP. It was interesting. We're both sitting there across from each other, nervous, because we don't know what to say. We've been talking for weeks on the phone, text messages, and then like actually talking on the phone like we used to do back in the day.
He had to get me into that because I would have been fine with just texting back.
No, I don't like texting. I like hearing voices. I like hearing inflections. I want to hear your emotion in your voice.
It's like I don't even know if my texting device can do that, but I'll try.
So we sat there. We probably ate for about 45 minutes.
Well, I eat really quickly, so I probably ate for about 5. And then he ate
for the rest of the 40 minutes.
and then I watched him eat.
And then after we ate, I don't even think I ate all of my food because I was so nervous.
You rarely do.
Shut up.
He's not a big eater, so I eat the rest of his food.
But I love to cook. I do love to cook.
He loves to cook.
But
he's good at it.
Excuse me. We were sitting there nervous. He ate. I didn't. And then we're like, okay, well, let's take my luggage back to your place and we'll figure out what we want to do with the rest of the day before we have to hit the road and head out to LA in a couple of days. So that was our first date. It was interesting. It's memorable for one.
It's funny because I didn't realize that was our first date when it was happening. Otherwise, I probably would have tried to plan something a little bit, more interesting than IHOP. But it was more of like something like you just got off a flight. Oftentimes when I get off a flight, I'm hungry and I just want to eat something simple. And I was like, all right, let's go to IHOP. But it actually was our first date. And we were both sitting there a little bit nervous, but we got through it and we came back home and, started to figure out the rest of the day. But then we had an opportunity to just kind of hug and embrace for a few minutes. And that was like a language that we both understand.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of broke the ice and made us a little bit more comfortable with one another. And I don't even remember what we did. We probably just ran a couple of errands. Did we even go to the gym that day?
No.
No, I think we watched movies on the sofa. And
no, we
talked.
went to. Shit, I know where we did. I can remember because I took pictures of the day.
Did we go to the? Oh, we went to Caesar's
yes,
Palace.
Yes, that's where it was.
We went to Caesar's.
We went to Caesar's.
I took him to the Strip, of course. Anyone who comes to Vegas wants to see the Strip,
Yeah.
so I took him to the Strip.
The Vegas Strip, not the Strip bar, for
right. For those of you who are confused.
And then did we meet with your friends that day, or was it the next day?
I think it was the next day. But,
okay.
But tell them, what did we do on what was the other thing we did on our first date at Caesar's Palace?
That wasn't the first day. That was the second.
That was the second day?
Yeah, it was the second day. No, we won't tell that story yet.
Okay.
That's for a different interview.
Okay.